Wednesday, October 26th at 8 Central, 9 p.m. Folks, that is prime time. Eastern, 7 p.m. No, what am I doing? That's my math is off. 6 p.m. Pacific. We have your number 3 seed Dallas Roughnecks headed to Old Bay Stadium to face off against the number 2 seed in the gray, your Baltimore Crabs. Who you gonna do?
Well, just to touch on the first game these two played, it ended 36-30 in favor of Baltimore, which was a very, very, very good contest. I actually went back and watched that one again the other day because it was such a good game. Dallas actually had outgained Baltimore in that game. I think it was about 48 yards, which was like, wow. That was one of the games where Dallas didn't execute Mike Davis. You and I touched on this together privately, that they really found the rhythm with him now, and they look like a whole new team, getting him involved. And when he gets going, he's freaking dangerous. So, got Concord in that game, had 2 touchdowns on his 200 yards receiving. Marconi had 378 yards. So, I mean, it was good stuff. Snyder only had 114 yards with 2 scores, but he did it with 35 carries, which is not a great average in this league. But Dazzler was 23 of 29. Did not throw an interception, but he only had 232 yards. Boas, injuries, had 4 catches apiece. Escobar had 2. Snyder had 10. So this was a good game all in all between the two of them. And I said it before, I'll keep saying it, always in these playoffs, as long as they're still alive. I picked Baltimore before the season started to win the championship. Because of that, I'm going to ride with them, just like I did when I picked Minneapolis. I picked them to be the 2 teams in the championship game. Of these 3 games, this one to me is the closest. Of these 4 games, this is the game where you can make a case for either team. I can even make a case right now for Dallas, why they're going to win the game. I won't make a case for anybody else because my feelings of Minneapolis winning and getting to the championship game. Like I said, this is when it counts the most. That's when TPAT really shows up. Same as the Santa Fe Orlando game. I'm picking the team to win there, and I'm not going to justify it for the other team, and I'll explain that later. Same with Queen City and Louisville. So, but with this particular game, Davis is going to have to run the football. He has to have another one of those 25-30 monster carry games, 200 yards rushing game there. And Baltimore's going to have to stop it. And Baltimore, and you know all about this because you call the defense. And I'll give you your due. Baltimore's one of the more effective defenses in the game. It's one of the tougher defenses to play against. So, you, in my opinion, need to prepare for Mike Davis. My question is, will Steve Mullenax throw Davis down the throat, or what will he do?
Like, we discussed this the other day about the Roughnecks. Their kind of, I won't say shift, but kind of, going throughout the season, how Mike Davis was a forgotten man. Like, they were slowly but surely going away from their first-round pick. And we're wondering, like, what was up with that? Now, I understand they got those 4 receivers. They want to spread the ball out. They got Marconi back there wanting to do his thing. And it wasn't until they ran into the Crabs, it was like after that loss, they made a concerted effort, a real concerted effort to get Mike Davis involved. And it showed because in his last 4 games, he almost has 1,600 yards rushing. It's ridiculous, the number of rushing yards he got in the last 4. Is it 240? No, not 800. I'm sorry. My math skills aren't that hot right now. He almost got 800 yards rushing in these last 4 games that he played. So they have realized that they have to make a concerted effort to get Mike Davis the ball, to keep him involved, to keep defenses honest. That's the word. To keep defenses honest so that way when they go back to pass, teams aren't just pinning their ears back, coming after Marconi and just flooding the defensive backfield with, players and now it's more difficult for receivers to get open because all the windows are taken away from other defenders to just sitting there. With that said, we're going to, because I'm part of the crowd, we're going to, take everything into account. The fact that they they've started to lean on Mike Davis a little more, we have to take that into account. The fact that they at any time could line up 4 receivers that run various amount of routes. They don't have one kind of route they cater to or fall in love with or trying to exploit defense with. They attack every part of the field. So we will make sure to take that into account as well. In our previous matchup, there are certain things I want my defense to do, and on occasion they slipped up, and that's how a couple of their receivers got behind our defense, which bothered me watching it because all throughout the week we were prepared and preparing for specifically those concepts to be thrown at us, and we thought we had everything wrapped up and ready to go, and apparently that wasn't so. So we'll make sure that we do our due diligence this time and exhaust all resources possible to prevent those concepts from confusing our guys and making sure that we simplify the game plans to make sure that the guys don't, aren't out there thinking, they're just out there playing. And that's the best thing you could do as a coordinator. Simplify everything so the guys could just get on the field and play. Instead of get on the field, what am I supposed to do? I got deep, I got short. Who's missing? Who's not? And we just want to simplify everything, so everybody can be at their most effective when Wednesday night happens and we have this rematch against Dallas headed our way. And that's the best I could put it.